In this video, I'm going to talk you through your options for what you can do if the VA denies your disability claim. And the information is also helpful if the VA has granted your claim but it just rated you too low and you want to appeal that. Now, the first thing you need to know is whether your claim falls under the old legacy system or the new system under the Appeals Modernization Act, also known as the AMA. Now, this is important because your options vary depending on which of those two camps you're in. So I've done a whole separate video on that, and I'd encourage you to check that out if you're not sure. This video is just going to be about your options under the AMA. And to dive right into that, say after you get that initial decision from the VA, you have three options. You can request a higher level review, you can file a supplemental claim, or you can appeal to the Board of Veterans' Appeals. And as long as you do one of those three things within 1 year of the initial decision, you will maintain your effective date, which, as you know, is key. Now, if you requested a higher level review and that was denied, then you have another year to do one of two things. You can file a supplemental claim or appeal to the Board of Veterans' Appeals. You cannot request a higher level review of a higher level review. That one's off the table. So if you file a supplemental claim and that gets denied, you again are back to the same three options you had from your original decision. You can request a higher level review, file another supplemental claim, or you can appeal to the Board of Veterans' Appeals. And again, you have 1 year to do any of those three things. If you appeal to the Board of Veterans' Appeals and that's denied, then you only have two options, and this is where it gets a little different. So you still have 1 year to file another supplemental claim. Or if you want to go higher up past the Board of Veterans' Appeals, you can appeal to the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims. But then you have a deadline of 120 days from the Board of Veterans' Appeals decision. So that's the only deadline that's not a year. Everything else is a year. And again, you cannot request a higher level review of a BVA decision, Board of Veterans' Appeals decision. Now there's a lot of nuance and into each of these options and why you should do one and not the other, and I'll try to cover that in a more detailed video on each of the options later in the future. But what I want to say right now is that you don't have to take these in any specific order. You really can kind of take the steps as I just described above. After each decision from the VA, you've got these options that branch out. And you should do the thing that makes the most sense for your claim at that specific moment in time. For example, if you can keep finding new and relevant evidence, you can keep filing supplemental claims. You can keep pushing this thing for a long, long time. So, and again, you always have a year except for appeals to the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims. That, again, the court is different and you only have 120 days. So I like to keep this short, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot more detail than that. Like I said, I'll try to get some specific videos later on each of these options. But what I will say is, as always, if you're struggling with your fight with the VA and you'd like me to help you out, you can reach out to me through my website, which you can find in the links below this video. Happy to see if I can help.